Week. It is Monday, June 8th, 2020. Thank you to those of you joining us on the GBN Television Facebook page, the website, gbn.gd, those of you watching on 8.7. This morning, the topic on the table, Farm Labor Program of the Ministry of Agriculture. I have joining me via Zoom attached to the Agricom project, Gregory Delsol. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sharing the same device, but we'll make it work this morning. Let's get right into it. Preparing for the program this morning, I was speaking to a few farmers, and there were two farmers who said they were not aware or they were not sure about the is about who is it geared toward before we get into the specifics of the program.
Okay, good morning, and good morning everyone listening and looking.
Come a little bit to the center.
This way?
Right, that's right. Go ahead.
Okay. The Farm Labor Program for 2020 of the Ministry of Agriculture. This year, we would have two different sections. We would normally have tree crop rehabilitation. You clean, you plant, you do drainage. And this year we've expanded that. So we're going to have the tree crop rehabilitation, which will be 200 acres of tree crops, which is nutmegs, cocoa, soursop, coconuts. We would also consider if you have plots of avocado and mango, other tree crops. And for that, we will be doing rehabilitation and drainage. So we'll be clearing and putting in drains. And for the other section, which is new for us this year, would be the food security section, which is we're going to be doing 200 acres also of staple crops. So you have your root crops, sweet potatoes, yams, dashings, you have bananas, plantain and blugger, and then you have some other crops like peas, corn, beans, and pumpkins. So to be eligible for any of the programs, you must be a registered farmer. That's the first criteria. You must be registered. There are a lot of people who have applied, but they're not registered farmers. So we're encouraging you to register. If you have applied for the programs, you will not be considered until you register. So only registered farmers would be able to benefit from the programs. What else?
What's the criteria to register?
Officers, she will help you fill up the form, and for 600 people, it is now becoming one of our main export crops. Is if you
identify to benefit, and that is our farmers. Lauren would have identified or have given an excellent synopsis of what the program is about, how to proper implementation, and to monitor, evaluate, and report properly on the project, on the Farm Labor Support Program.
What has been the biggest challenge?
We start implementation for this year, but in previous years we would have had certain challenges. We have a manpower issue, especially from this side of the Ministry of Agriculture. I would say that we haven't done as effective a job in terms of monitoring and evaluation over the years that we should have. So we intend to rectify a lot of these issues with this Farm Labor Support Program in 2020.
How will it be rectified? How will these issues be rectified? And how
people have applied. What we want to do now is do the assessment of the applicants, all the farmers that would have applied to the program. We now have to go out and do a proper farm assessment on their farms to see what kind of support that we could provide. So that's the next phase of the program, the proper assessment of the applicants.
What's the deadline to apply?
Now that's a tricky one. We originally, when we first put the information online, there was a deadline date of the 31st of May. But we know that farmers are still applying, and we know, like you said earlier, there are farmers who might not have heard of the program or the application process. So we are extending the program to the end of June. The farmers are up until the end of June to submit their application, to either do it themselves online or not before.
Okay. A lot of farmers hearing that assistance would be given specifically for these crops, they may, maybe switch focus in an effort to benefit, or they may say, okay, this is a good time for me to start getting into farming. But what are some of the criteria that you are specifically looking for to ensure that these farmers are up to par and not just any and everybody can apply? What are the criteria you're looking for?
Registered that we could see with their commercial, we have a sense that they are actively involved in farming. Some people come into, we'll have good conversation with the farmer, we'll do a proper assessment of his land to see, one, that he's a serious farmer, and two, that he will continue. There will be a committee that is put in place at the ministry. Not every time deserving of it, and who are going to continue.
Has the family program big farmers, whether it's financial?
The government has been on family labor support is twofold, unemployment, opportunity to get short-term now.
The people who are used to your farm and I just pay from.
We have seen over the years with government support an increase in production. For example, after Hurricane Ivan, cocoa production, tree crop, of those sorts of cultivations of plots on the island over the years. Improve that we could have.
Okay. And Gregory.
See it first on GBN. All the stories, from politics to industrial unrest. Tourism. Light it up. Light it up. Entertainment. Sports and culture.
Bronze medalist.
See more on GB.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water harm, use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. To stay up to date, brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey.
About 500 families, most preferably vulnerable, shade or greenhouse technology. Also, the government is more from the farming public. I'd say our response to the COVID-19 situation. Was to get a list of families that we're not setting up their home of certain types. We'll be providing
there's a
budget line item entitled supporting rural investments, and farm labor fit with one given to the GCNA so far, 1 million in grant for price support, and they made available another $3 million.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Citizen Welsh. Greetings and greetings to you guests. Let's get to a couple of things here, Citizen Welsh.
Mr. Delsol?
Thank you for the call, caller. In our context, culturally, we have used the two interchangeably. Our context.
No, it's very expensive. The farmer is complaining that the farmer is struggling. He can't get people to work, and even though you get them to work at 50 and I think there, roads is back into the field. You don't need to target. These people might just back away at one point in time. put the roads, give them the access road, give every single person who wants to farm the various crops that you're trying to achieve to do so. Get the market, and then you will see the benefit that you're trying to solve. It will not. The money government are taking to give the farmers, to subsidy the farmer at the cost and we taxpayers have to pay, I think they should put that into roads, infrastructure. For every single area where farming used to be done, where there used to be road, get the road back. Challenge the farmers or the owners of the land to get back into the land to do exactly what you want, farmers. And I think you will get a better result there. Take that as an advisor. Have a great day.
There's a lot of good in what you said. The ministry, we can't do all that you have suggested, but just to add one thing in terms of road access, the ministry and the government as a whole is trying to address that, but with the second phase of the Kuwaiti Farm Road Development Program, as well as the SIAP project, that's a Climate Smart Agriculture and Enterprise Development Project, you will see over the next year or two go to their lands because of the impassability of a lot of the roads where their lands are located. So that's something that the ministry is, the government as a whole is trying to address. It's not easy because road construction and rehabilitation is a very expensive thing. But with those two projects, I think we'll make a serious dent in improving road.
One WhatsApp question: can you indicate when the greenhouses be functional at the Marable Agriculture? Nothing. Any ideas?
I will make Ms. Sandway take this one.
Hopefully it will be done before the end of this year. We had a few getting the correct electricity. There was some other equipment that we had to get to organize that. So hopefully by the end of the year, they'll be up and running. I hope that helps.
Okay, let me go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning. When we are giving information to the public concerning our affairs in Grenada, acre of land is allocated to someone. You have to bear in mind that this acre of land, part of it, would not be able to be cultivated. Mechanization was also mentioned. Now, because of our terrain, mechanization cannot work in Grenada. We have to be realistic. So let's give proper balanced information. Thank you very much.
Back to the phone lines. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What level of agriculture we're talking about? To me, the agriculture that is here right now is hand to benefit to the island. I mean, the country where we can export our main crops, coconut, milk, and banana. Now, where's our estates? You see? Where are those estates? Where is Mount St. Hope, Waltham? Where is Hope Estate, New Union Estate? Those estates are sold now. Could we retrieve them or buy them back to the farmers? Hundreds of tons of manure has been bought by those estates. Could they afford to buy these tons of manure to put in the lands? And I know there are farmers where I live here buying manure by the pound. The estate has been sold, and they buy manure by the pound to facilitate their little piece. Now, how are we going to do that? Where is the animal?
Mr. Louis or Mr. Delsol?
Thank you, caller. There have been a lot of efforts. Many times we've tried to have areas where the different sections. Those efforts have not really proved successful. We also have to realize that we're living in a very different time, where the population of Grenada is much larger than previous years. And so that sort of thing. So you would have less large areas of land being being cultivated. However, who they have either from their families or that they've bought the land, they have put in significant investment. Examples of older, more experienced farmers who can tell you that the benefits that they've gotten from farming, they've done this their entire lives. They built their houses, they send their children to school, they send their children to college, and they can tell you that farming can be a very lucrative initiative. So sometimes we have to, things will change. There will always be, the life is about things changing. So we'll always have things changing. But what we try to do, and we at the Ministry of Agriculture, we try to do, is to support the initiatives that people, that people would want to do. We no longer have many estates. We have a few government estates that are still, quote unquote, functional. So we're not, it's not, I think it would be difficult. Let me put it this way: it would be difficult to go back to that type of farming. However, we do have private commercial people who farm very large expanses of land. We have some young ones who are coming in, and they are doing very good, and they can have farming as your career and your profession, and do it in a lucrative way.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Ms. Blossom.
Morning.
And good morning to the gentleman and the lady. I think you all are going well. I don't think it has been reaching its achievement at all over the years. For the years that they have started, the few years well enough, and they have not been really making the impact that they should make. First of all, in terms of some of the components there, like water, marketing, price, workers, these things have to be seriously looked at. Are we going to find markets, or could we tell the farmers where they will get market for the things that we want them to plant? Or that everybody that walk in the road could walk in the field. And I heard the gentleman say that those farms that have workers, they will use those workers. That is good. But when you hand-picking workers, you have to be very careful with the kind of workers you're picking, because a worker on the road is not really a worker in the field. Areas with water, how can you bring water to some of the areas where they don't have water for irrigation and whatnot? A lot of farmers want to plant, but they don't have water reaching to them. Facilities are there. And who is going to regulate the prices for the commodities that the people will plant? Will marketing board be able to take the crops that people plant, or will people have to go and look for market helter-skelter? These things that have to be regular supervision of those plots. Because a lot of people tell you they work, and when you go there and do the work, and money are being paid. How are we monitoring those things? These things have to be looked at seriously if this program is to make any headway. But I am of the belief that they can make headway, but we have to look at these components there seriously.
Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you, Paula. Very good, a very, very, very good contribution there. I'll take a couple points that that has been an issue for over the years, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything here. We have not done that as effectively as we should have. And again, we're trying to address these issues in this year's family to ensure that it achieves the objectives that we have set for it. But that is an issue, supervision and selection. We are making efforts to rectify that problem. The farmer talked about marketing, and again, the crops that are planted and produced under this program, the marketing board will be able to absorb most of that. They're also working on their storage capacity as well to address that, because a lot of production will be coming in. But farmers will have the option of selling to other markets as well. But marketing board will be that stable market that we're trying to work with, where farmers could dispose of most of their production under the program.
There's a question on Facebook. What are your views on bringing back the farm school as in the revolution and having schools do their kitchen garden, especially livestock such as sheep and goat, so they can...
Having discussions on that particular issue as to, I like to use the word resurrect, but resuscitate it to bring it back to a semblance of what it used to be. We have a project that the ministry has developed. It's called a Youth in Agriculture project. And we are looking to roll out that project later in the year. That, the whole issue of farm school and just training for young persons who want to get involved with that person who sent that message, that we need to do more along those lines. We also need to strengthen our 4-H as well in order to stimulate young people to get into agricultural production.
All right. And as we wrap up this...
I'll leave the last one for Lauren. But just to say that the ministry is cognizant of the many challenges out there and the many challenges in agriculture on the whole. And there is within the Ministry of Agriculture a dedicated team of persons that are trying to put structures, measures, projects, programs, policies in place to address many of the burning issues out there in agriculture. And there are many that we didn't even touch on, such as trading last name with the Minister and the Permanent Secretary. We are working, we are always in discussion as to how we can make our things better. I think in this new dispensation, post-COVID and all of that, we need to do certain things better. We need to improve technology in agriculture. There's a myriad of things that we need to do, but we are working on them. And with this year's farm labor program, we think we're going to address a lot of the issues that plagued us in the past. Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for the callers who call in.
And thanks to everybody who is listening, who called in. Thanks for your comments. And I know we will have comments afterwards, so thank you for those. That our stakeholders, our farmers, are serviced. We want to assure the public that we always try our best to ensure that the agricultural sector is successful. We will try again. Every time we fail, every time we fall short, we will try again. But we will always be there to try and bolster our sector. So as we go forward, contact us either on Facebook, or you can come to the office, or you can call. The office is open. You can call in and get your concerns dealt with, and we can try to see how best we can help you. So thank you again, Blossom, and thanks everybody, and have a good day.
Thank you. You do the same. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
All right, by Mr. Delsol, as well as Senior Planning Officer attached to the AgriCom project in the ministry, Gregory Delsol. We'll thank them both for being our guests on To The Point this morning. Thank you to our viewers, listeners, and those of you who asked your questions. Always appreciate your partnership and your participation. Thank you once again. That's the end of my time today. Joseph is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. He'll take you to midday. Have yourselves an enjoyable, productive Monday. Be safe, stay healthy, do what you need to do to protect yourselves. Those of you going out to participate in the peaceful protest in Lancepleen, also walk with the things.